Well, hello and welcome to your monthly Spokane housing market update for October 2022. My name is Alejandro Ventura. I'm a real estate broker here in town with Keller Williams. And today, I'm going to cover the current state of the Spokane housing market, as well as the question in everyone's mind, which is where are home prices headed for the remaining of the year. Now let's begin by reviewing a few foundational metrics to get a sense for where the market is at today. And let me start by reminding you of the three main indicators to track to know where the market is going. And those are inventory levels, demand growth, and days on market. So let's start by looking at the inventory changes in the last month. As of the end of September, we had 1,300 houses available for sale, which represented a 2-month supply. Now, to put this 2-month supply in perspective, historically, any market with inventory levels of 6 months or less is thought to be a seller's market, which is a market where home prices are rising and overall conditions favor the seller. So with that understanding in mind, let's go back to this 2-month supply. National media headlines promotes the notion that inventory levels are rising by leaps and bounds, and that this rise is making property values collapse. The question is this true? Is that true for us here in Spokane? And to answer that question, all we have to do is look at the data. Like in this graph, I'm giving you the trend for the last 6 months. And notice how we have gone from an extremely low inventory back in April with just over 500 houses for sale to a more gradual increase to the 1,300 homes we have available today. So is the inventory rising here in town? Well, clearly it is. But is it rising to the point to make property values collapse? So far, at a 2-month supply, not even close. Now, let's look at demand growth. And we track this by the number of showings taking place every month. So here you can see that showings have remained around 16 to 17,000 per month since April, except for the last month when showings dropped 12% to the 15,000 mark. And this decline in demand is primarily the result of rising interest rates, which has effectively priced out a decent segment of the buyer pool. Now, let's look at the days on market, which is essentially how long it takes for properties to sell. Here, if you begin to notice a meaningful change in the length of time that is taking for homes to sell, then you will know that the market is transitioning from a seller's market into a more balanced or potentially a buyer's market. And the key term here is meaningful change. So let's take a look. Back in April, the median days on the market was 4. Which is so crazy to think about. Sellers back then were pretty much printing money. But anyways, ever since, days on market have been steadily rising at a slow pace. So it has gone from 4 days back in April to 18 days in September. Now, is this a meaningful change? Well, just 5 years ago, in 2016, the median days on market was 60. So relative to that, most houses are still selling relatively fast. So here is what the Spokane housing data is telling us thus far. Inventory is rising gradually. Demand has shrunk by 12%, at least as of the end of September. And days on market are building up slowly. So how are all these changes affecting home values? Well, prices have been trending down since April. And in hindsight, we can see that it was back in April when the market began to shift. The most recent numbers show a decline of 2.5% in home values from August to September, leaving the median sales price at $425,000. Is this the beginning of a market crash? And to that I would say, first off, that no one can answer that question definitively. However, my sense is that here in Spokane, it is highly unlikely that we will see prices decline year over year. Look, even though there has been a downtrend in prices for the last 6 months, the market is still up 15% year over year. So I think it is unlikely that we're going to close the year at price levels below 2021. What I think is more probable is for price growth to continue into 2023, albeit at a much lower rate. But of course, we'll find out when the time comes. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. And for any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to call. I'm Alejandro with Alejandro Ventura Real Estate. Thank you for watching. Make it a great day.